Yeah, so I am Megan Martin, and I'm the teacher of the Assessment Center here at Quora Education Center. So I do a unit on cultural awareness, and one of the ways I kind of start that unit off is by doing a lesson on the single story. So we watch this TED Talk about this woman who talks about what a single story is and how she's experienced that in her life, and kind of talks about the dangers of a single story and how that can lead to a lot of misrepresentations, misunderstandings, how we can label people based off of that single story we have of somebody. So we watch the TED Talk and we go through a discussion kind of talking about what that looks like for us. And then the students do a project where they have to go pick a topic, a culture, a region, something, and investigate what single stories are out there about that topic. They then have to find information that challenges that single story and looks at, what is out there that goes against that one view that people have, or that one story that people have about that topic or interest. Yeah, so it was really fun to use the VR because a lot of students have never experienced using VR before. And one of the main concepts I teach is, how do you eliminate the single story? And a lot of times I say you eliminate the single story by having experiences. Experiencing travel, experiencing different people, experiencing different things. So through VR, I can program field trips for the students. So I can give them those experiences right in the classroom. We can tour a museum, we can tour national parks, we can travel across the world and look at the Eiffel Tower, look at the Louvre, all of those different things. So it provides them with those experiences in my classroom and not having to, have resources or time to do that outside of my room. I really focused on, for the VR part, what experiences can do to open your mind about a lot of different things. And then after that, we went more in depth into certain topics of single story. But that VR experience was really just supposed to be interest-based and explorative, and kind of let their minds just start thinking about the topic, because this was my introduction lesson into kind of that whole unit. Yeah, so I set a couple that we did together as a class. One of the big ones I started with was just the national parks, looking at what we have in the United States, what's out there, what experiences, history, things of that nature. And then I let the students kind of pick and explore different things, and they were just mesmerized. I mean, some of them went and looked at a research study out in the ocean, looking at different things. Some of them looked at the National History Museum and looked to see what the different things were there. So they all kind of picked different things and had very different interests when it came, but it was cool because they got to take their own interests or things they were maybe wondering about and pick them and explore that further for themselves using an interest that they had. After we were done with a lot of the field trips, we came back together as a class and we kind of talked about what they researched before they start, what their experience was, and how those differed. And a lot of students were just, kind of in awe of the fact, like, I've never got to travel, or I've never gotten to do this. And it was really cool to see the people walking around, or to see, the Mona Lisa that everybody talks about, like, oh, there it is in front of me. So just to kind of put more real life experiences into things they've heard about or learned about, but have never been able to experience. Yeah, and I didn't want the experience to be like you said, okay, here's what you got to do, go do it, because then a lot of times their interest in doing that will be diminished. Where if you give it, these cool things to them and give them this broad exploration of it, they're often a lot more excited to kind of dig and look, because you're not setting the parameters of you have to do this, this, and this, and then being able to come back and have a conversation with it is just a really nice way to introduce heavy topic. It was kind of a first experience for me too, so I was learning as I was going. I've had experience a little bit with VR before, but it took some time for me to sit down and figure out how to do a field trip, how to load a field trip, what that looked like, how to guide them, because the students really enjoyed it.